What's going on, guys? Steve here, Rake and Profit, coming back to you with another video. And in today's video, while I'm out taking a nice walk, I want to talk about why most new resellers quit, why most new resellers give up, why most new resellers, eBay sellers, Amazon sellers especially, they don't make any money. A couple things I want to talk about here, and I want to be very clear. I'm not just a guy on the internet making videos who's been selling for 3 months. I'm not just a guy who's on here making a video to make $11 on YouTube AdSense. I'm literally trying to help you based on my real life experience. I've been doing this for 10 plus years. I started flipping bicycles on Craigslist, made $20,000 my first year. Went on to selling full-time on eBay for about 5 plus years. And now it's been, I don't know, 5 years or so I've been selling on Amazon. I'm doing this, guys. And I know what it's like to be new. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to live at home in my parents' house and literally be broke as a joke. I know what it's like to want to make money online. I mean, I still remember working at the Cracker Barrel, and it would be a Sunday. I'd have my little apron on, and I would literally be miserable. I'd be sitting in the parking lot thinking to myself, I don't want to go in here and work. Like, I want to make money online. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to clock in and clock out and deal with pain in the butt customers. I want to make money online. I want to build a business, right? I know what it's like. And maybe you're new, right? Maybe you're new and you're thinking to yourself, I want to make money on Amazon. I see all these people making all this money and crushing it and making money online. Why can't that be me? And I'm going to tell you in this video why it can't be you if you don't avoid these mistakes. Because I coach a lot of people. I have a lot of folks in my coaching programs and Reselling Freedom. You know, I've got over 1,000 people who've gone through my eBay to Amazon masterclass. And I'm going to tell you why most people give up and quit. Why most people don't make any money. I'm going to find a little seat here to sit down with you guys and have a real conversation with you, okay? The number one reason people don't make money on Amazon, and this is right off the bat, they're lazy. They don't work hard. I can't tell you how many people I coach, I have coaching calls with, I talk to on Facebook in the different groups, and you know, it's like, I'm not having success, I'm not selling items, and they've watched 1 or 2 videos. Maybe they're a part of one of my memberships, and they haven't even engaged in the community. They don't show up to the live coaching calls. They just aren't working hard, and you guys have to stop believing the BS. I don't know where you're hearing it from, okay? Because it certainly ain't me. But you got to stop listening to the nonsense online, the Facebook ads, YouTube, so on and so forth, thinking you're just going to make all this money by doing nothing. It's a bunch of BS. The people who are successful, and I consider myself successful now, okay? However you want to define success, I consider myself successful because I don't have a boss. I haven't had a boss for over 10 plus years. I call all my own shots. I've become a millionaire on my own without a rich parents, without having a ton of resources, without having a ton of advantages. You know, I did it on my own. So I consider myself successful, but I've worked my butt off, okay? I have worked my absolute butt off. And most people who aren't successful, they're just not working hard. So that's number one. You've got to work hard. You've got to put in the time. You've got to put in the hours. You have to bust your butt, and you can't be, and I'll say right here, number two, most people, they got 1,000,001 excuses. Now, are those excuses legitimate? Absolutely. Are those excuses reasonable for any normal person to make an excuse? Maybe you don't have a lot of money. Maybe you're going to school. Maybe you have kids or a family, or maybe your health is declining, maybe you're a bit older and it's harder for you to kind of learn technology and different. These are all reasonable things, right? 100% reasonable, right? When I first got started, you know, I was smoking so much weed, I was out of it. I was smoking cigarettes. I was extremely overweight and unhealthy, and I was surrounded by a bunch of negative people. I had no friends, no mentors. I didn't know about the YouTube community. I mean, when I first started, there was no YouTube community. But you gotta stop listening to the BS excuses. Even though they sound good and they're reasonable, any reasonable person would use an excuse and just stick to their 9 to 5. If you're miserable, that's not a good thing. I'm not saying anything's wrong with a 9 to 5. Any normal person would be able to justify why they're not hitting their goals. But you're different, okay? If you want to hit your goals, you have to stop listening to the excuses. You know, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I forgot who it was. I put a post out about this, and what they were talking about is the people who are most successful, it's not because they have the most resources, right? Now, obviously, if you have more money, more credit, you know, that's going to give you an advantage. But the people who are successful, it's not the resources they have or they don't have. It's their ability to be resourceful. It's their ability to be able to think outside the box and be creative and use their imagination and find a way when everybody else is, you know, can't find a way, or, you know, everybody else is using an excuse. So not only do you have to work hard, but you have to push the excuses away and become resourceful, okay? Number 3, the people I notice who aren't successful, it's because they're dabbling. And this is a play off of, obviously, not working hard. You don't have to go 100% all in, but you can't just dabble and play around and list a couple of items and ship out a shipment, you know, once every month or two. And, you know, you watch a video and get inspired and you do a little bit and you try it out and you're kind of like half in, half out. You take a week off, you take 2 weeks off, you work for a month, you take 3 months off. That's dabbling. And I, you know, fell victim to this for years and years. The folks who are most successful, they work their butt off. They take massive action. Even though they have a ton of great excuses, they find a way. They're resourceful. They push it aside. They find time at nighttime. They wake up earlier. They find ways to be creative and leverage the limited amount of resources that they have. I don't know what to say, but some of you guys want to be successful, but it's just words. There's no real drive behind it. There's no real purpose. You know, you're looking for people to just kind of hand you the answer. If you want to be successful in life, you got to go out there and take it. You got to fight for it. Especially if you were someone like me 10 years ago. I mean, the amount of negativity in my life and the amount of bad karma that I had going for me just from all the bad decisions when I was younger. People look at me like, oh, you're crazy for going to Tony Robbins and jumping in ice baths and affirmations and, you know, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on coaching while, you know, the people out there are saying, oh, you're getting scammed, you're getting taken for, you're paying for courses and coaches. I had to freaking pay, because if you don't pay sometimes, you don't pay attention. I had to get around real mentors who were making it happen. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm anything special, because I'm not. But I'll tell you right now, if I think back to 16 years ago when I was 21 years old, yeah, I'm 37 years old right now, I would have never imagined that it was 10 years plus now that I've been working for myself, you know, that I've got a 7-figure net worth, that I've got multiple properties and Amazon businesses, and now I'm building out softwares. And I don't say that to brag or boast or to impress you, but essentially, and I say this all the time, to impress upon you the fact that I'm doing this, I'm living this. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Every single freaking day. And that's another thing right here. The folks who I've noticed quit and give up, they're trying to be perfect. Like, they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to look bad in front of their friends. Like, they're scared to get judged by their family and friends and like looking bad. And I'll tell you right now, I remember when I was first starting to sell on eBay, I was getting judged all the time. I was getting doubted all the time. People were making comments and people like to call out the mistakes. And, you know, but I'll tell you right now, people's attitudes start to change when they start seeing your world change. You know, when they saw me get my own place, and, you know, they saw me get my own car, and they saw me pay off all my debt, and then they saw me purchase my first rental property. You know what? Forget all that stuff. Let people think what they want to think. Focus on you. Become the best version of yourself. And I know I'm going all over the place right now, but the reason people aren't successful and they don't see the results on the outside is because they're a mess inside, right? They're a mess inside. They're trying to get a handout. They think money and success is going to come fast. They're using a million excuses. They're dabbling. They're kind of, you know, it's like there's always another excuse. It's, oh, I got scammed for this, or, you know, this wasn't that easy, or what's your profit margin, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like people are weak nowadays, and I hate to say it. The people who aren't successful, and again, you can define success however you want, but if success is making $3,000 to $5,000 a month for you and you're only doing $100, you're making $0, you're not successful. I know we live in a cancel culture where everybody's got to be so soft and sensitive, but sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror, or you got to have a mentor telling you, you're messing up. You're too soft. You got to fight. You got to jump in an ice bath. You got to work hard. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your sleep a little bit. Sometimes you got to not be balanced, right? Again, back to this little rant I'm on right now, but it's like, Your life has got to be balanced, and you know, you've got to balance out your work and your life and your relationship, and you know, you gotta stop at 5 o'clock, and come on, give me a break. Sometimes your life has to be out of balance. Sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice your relationships a little bit for the short term. Sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice your health a little bit, which I actually don't recommend doing. I'm actually working on switching that up because that's a big mistake. I mean, but sometimes there's going to be sacrifices. Sometimes you're not going to be able to watch, you know, your NFL every Sunday, right? And your football. And sometimes you have to, you know, sleep a little less and work a little harder, right? The good thing is, over time, momentum builds. And the more momentum you build, things do get easier over time. So think about this stuff, guys. If you're not getting the results you want right now, sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing? Am I not putting in enough effort? Am I dabbling? Am I not taking this serious? Am I using a lot of excuses? I'm pointing fingers and blaming this and blaming that. Are you really fighting and trying to take what you know you deserve? Or are you waiting for someone to give you the answer? You got to take it, guys. I'm telling you right now, you got to go after it and you got to take it. And man, I have so much on my mind now, but hopefully this helps a little bit. Beautiful day right now. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate all of you, and I share this out of the bottom of my heart. I want you guys to be successful, however you define success. But don't use the excuses, guys. Don't play into the BS that you hear from everybody else. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you gotta get outside the box. You gotta do things differently, guys. You gotta make some sacrifices. So with that being said, much love. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.